Good morning, friends. It's Mrs. Crocker here today for your next math lesson. What I'm going to start with today is the materials you're going to need. So you'll want to get out a piece of paper, construction paper if you have it, because the thicker it's a little bit better. Construction paper if you have a piece. If you only have like an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, like printer paper or just plain paper, that will work too. You do need a piece of paper. You're going to need scissors. And you're going to need a ruler or a straight edge, something that you can draw a straight line with. So if you don't have a ruler at home, but you have an edge of a book, or you have a something that has a straight edge like a index card, any of those things will work to use for it. So and a pencil. You need a pencil. So I want you to go and collect those items right now, and then come back and watch the video. So pause me if you need to, so you can go get those items, and then come back, because we're going to be creating tangrams today. Tangrams, some of my friends, we've talked about tangrams before, and some of you have actually created your tangrams before, so that'll be kind of fun that you get to do it again, and you can actually show your siblings or your parents how to make them. Tangrams originally came from the Chinese culture, and they are made up of 7 tans. Okay, so we're going to create, it comes from one big square, and then you're going to break them into 7 pieces. Now, each of the pieces have to be formed in a specific way, or else they won't all go back to being a square again. So today what we're going to do is we're going to take our piece of paper, and we're going to form our 7 tans to make the full tangram. Okay, so you may have to pause me periodically through the video so that you can make these tans with me. So don't feel like you have to watch the whole video and then try and go back. Pause me when you need to. I can't pause myself, so I'll just continue, but I'll give you that opportunity now, so you may want to pause now to do it. Now, please don't jump ahead thinking you're supposed to cut first or you're supposed to fold here. Okay, you have to do it specifically, or else it won't form your tans that you need. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get your piece of paper out. You need to make a 6 by 6 piece of paper, which means a square. So you'll take your ruler and you will measure 6 inches over. So I'll take my ruler, I'll straight edge, and I'll measure, and I'll mark 6 inches. Okay, so I went and I marked all the way over 6 inches. Okay, and then you will have to do the same thing. You'll have to go down. So I'm going to actually draw a straight edge, and I'm going to draw it down to my 6 inches. Okay, so now I've got a line drawn down to that's where my 6 inches, and then your line's going to go this way. Okay, and then 6 inches. Once you have your square, that is a 6 by 6 square, parents can help with this totally, then you're going to want to cut it out. So this might be that time that you want to pause me now to be able to do your cutting. I'm going to cut mine out. You want to try and be as straight as possible when cutting, because again, tans are made up of straight lines, and that's what these are going to be based upon. Okay, so I've got my 6 by 6 inch squares. In fact, I have 2 of them, just in case I make a mistake, because I've been known to do that once or twice before. Okay. So you'll take your 6 by 6 inch square. Now, if you don't have it cut just yet, pause me, because you can't do the next part without having your 6 by 6 inch square. Okay, so first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your 6 by 6 inch square, and you are going to fold it. You're going to go fold it from corner to corner. So I'm going to go right up to that little corner. See that there? Okay. Now I'm going to pinch it first before I do any creasing, because I don't want it to be mixed matched. It has to be congruent. They have to be even, like the exact same. Okay. So once I have it folded and I have it pinched at the top, I'm going to push my hand down towards, and then I'm going to crease that part. So I'm going to go one side, I'm going to crease it this way, and I'm going to go the other side and crease it that way, all while keeping that pinched. Okay? If you don't keep that pinched, it can move side to side, and then your shape is not congruent, and congruent means equal and same on both sides. Now, this is a line of symmetry because it's the same on both sides. Okay? So if you have it folded like that, it's anybody know what shape this is? Triangle! It's a triangle. And this would be considered an equilateral triangle because all three sides are equal. Okay, so you have your triangle, and there's another triangle on the back. Unfold it to go back to your square, and you are going to go ahead and cut right along that crease that you just made. Try and be as straight as possible again, so that you're making sure that they are equal. Okay. So now you have two triangles. Okay. Now, on your triangle, on the one triangle, doesn't matter, it can be either one, I want you to write very lightly in pencil. I want you to write A. Okay. A. The other triangle, again, very lightly in B. Okay. So you've got A and B triangles. Take B and put him off to the side. You'll use him in a minute. Don't get rid of him. You'll use him in a minute. So you're going to take A now. Now from A, you're going to have him pointing upwards. His head, me. Okay? And you are going to fold him from side to side. Okay? So I'm going to hold the point up here. I'm going to fold over here to this corner. Okay? I'm going to pinch at that corner. Whoop! He slipped out on me. Pinch at that corner. Okay. Now from that corner where I'm holding, I am going to push back to make that crease right there, and then crease down and crease up. Now again, you should have two triangles, two equal triangles, which would be congruent triangles. Okay, so you're going to crease on that line, and then once you open it up, you've got a big triangle and two smaller ones. Okay, now the crease that you just made, you're going to go ahead and cut. And now I've got two smaller equilateral triangles. I knew you guys were going to say that. Equilateral triangles. And you're going to put those two guys off to the side. Now at any time, pause me if you need to, guys, okay? Because I am just going to keep building it, but you might need to take a hot second to be able to cut it or fold it or crease it because you're not as proficient at it, which is totally fine. Okay. Now grab triangle B that you made at the beginning. And you're going to do the same thing by folding it. Do not cut it though. Okay, there's no cutting in this one yet. So take B, okay, and you're going to fold him to the corner. And that corner over there. And so once they're flush, which means they're on top of each other perfectly, I'm going to hold that corner, and then I'm going to pull back, and I'm going to crease down, crease up. Okay. So now I've creased again. If I open it up, it's the big triangle. Okay. Once you have that nice hefty crease there, I want you to then open it up. Okay. Do not cut. No cutting right now. Now, from here, what you're going to do is you're going to take the tippy top of your triangle, and you're going to fold it down to touch the bottom. You don't want it to go past it. You want it to touch that point where you made that crease. Okay, so I'll show you over here. Okay. Take the top of my triangle, and I am going to fold it down until it touches the bottom. See how it's just touching the bottom where I creased it? I'm going to hold it there so it doesn't slide around on me, pinching it, and I'm going to slide my other hand up, or my finger, and I'm going to crease it so it folds this. Alright. Now, friends, if I were to turn it around, what shape does that look like to you? It's no longer a triangle. It's been turned into a trapezoid. Okay? So you've got a trapezoid with a triangle on top. Snap. Now, this is where you cut. You're going to cut off the top part so you leave just the trapezoid. So you're only cutting on that crease. So the top crease. You're getting rid of the triangle part but leaving the trapezoid. Okay. So I got my trapezoid and a little baby triangle. Okay. Then you'll you'll take this little triangle piece, you'll put him off to the side in that pile we're going to get to in a minute. Now, you've got your big trapezoid, okay, which mine still has the B on it, because it was the big triangle. I am now going to cut along this crease. Okay, so I'm going to take my scissors and chop. Now what I want you to do is you're now going to label these C and D. Okay, so it doesn't matter which way you go. One needs to be labeled C and one needs to be labeled D. C and D. See? And I wrote over my B, or C. So C and D off to the side. Okay. Now, I'm going to pick C back up, whichever one you've labeled C. Okay, so C. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold along this line. So to be able to see it, I'm going to take my straight edge or my ruler. Okay. I'm going to hold, this is considered a right-angled trapezoid, okay, because it makes an L. Remember, right angles make L's. Okay, so this is right angle trap. I'm going to take my straight edge and I'm going to go straight down so that I know which line to fold along. Otherwise, I might get a little like, iffy. So, just enough so I can see. Okay. So I took my straight edge to draw a line down. So now I have a square and a triangle. Okay. And then I'm just going to cut along that line. So now I have a baby-sized triangle and a square. And that square, well, the triangle we'll start with first. This little baby triangle that you have now, you're going to label it E. And the square that you just made is now going to be labeled G. So you might have written C already on it, but you'll go ahead and erase it and write G now. Okay. Now, pick up the D right-angled trapezoid. It's a right angle. Makes an L. Okay. And you are not going to do the same thing this time. This one's going to be a little different. You're going to make a diagonal fold. Oh, what, Mrs. Crocker? A diagonal fold. Okay. So you're going to take your tippy, tippy, tippy corner. Okay, so you want to have it facing this way. So you're going to want to have your L here and the point facing that way, away from you. Okay, and you're going to take the corner of your L, where your L would be, and you're going to go all the way up to the corner up here. Okay. And then crease. All right, so I'll show you up closer. Okay. So here is your L. You're going to fold this guy all the way up to the corner up there. Okay? And then fold. So now you've made a parallelogram. And you're going to cut this little guy off that you just folded. Okay? So now you have your parallelogram and another triangle. Your parallelogram, whether it has a letter on it or not, is now going to be F. F for Frank. Okay. And your little bitty triangle is going to be D. The one you just cut off, you're going to label it D. So I just write a D on it. D. Now, at this point, you should now have all 7 pieces. Okay? You should have 2 very big triangles, okay, and labeled A and B. So if you haven't labeled those 2 big triangles, they are A and B. A and B. See, I knew my numbers would come in handy. And then you have your 2 baby triangles that you just had, and those are D and E. D. And then you have another bigger triangle. That's going to be labeled C. I haven't labeled it yet, so my guess is that you haven't labeled it yet. And then your last 2 shapes are the square, which is G, and the parallelogram, which is E. Okay. You now have 7 tans, friends. Okay, so these are called tangrams as a whole. Individually, they're called tans. Now, what your objective today is to, 1, just play around with them, because the lesson is really just building your tans for you. Okay, I want you to think about some vocab terms that you could use that would describe them. Okay, I used equilateral triangles because they're both equal, and they're congruent because they're the same shape and same size. This one's a parallelogram because it has 2 sets of parallel sides. These ones are 2 smaller triangles. They would not be congruent to these ones because they are not the same size. They're smaller. Okay, so there are plenty of things you can do with it. I'm going to try and find an activity where you can build a shape with it and assign it with this video. So I don't know what I'll find for a shape, but I will assign a shape where maybe it's a cat, maybe it's a horse, maybe it's a dog. And you've got to use your 7 tans to make this animal. Before you even try that, it would be great to see if you could even try to be able to build it in general. Okay, so build anything that you want, see what you can check out with them. Now, the real hard brain teaser in this aspect is to be able to put all of those shapes back together into that original 6x6 square. So if you can do that, now that's pretty cool. Even I have a hard time still figuring out how do my pieces go together? How did I start this again? Okay, so that is our lesson for today. I hope that you like your tans, and we're going to use them again, so please don't trash them or get rid of them at all today. I'm going to put this up on Seesaw Classroom, so make sure you sign in there to get your assignment, and then do the activity associated with it, and take a picture and send it to your teacher to show them that, 1, either you made the tans, or 2, that you have found how to put it back in a square, or that you've made a shape with it. Okay, friends? So I hope you like that. Our next lesson is going to be using these tans, so don't get rid of them.